should be every rapper's ghostwriter. About to pit that flame to your skull, just like the Ghost Rider. You heard records, just pay respect when you see it, cause the rhymes is heavenly.
I can't believe this motherfucking shit, man. Motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm with both of you. Motherfucking! Started the one-man game. This is our special guest,
Sir Blanco.
What's good, everybody?
Tell them where they can find you, bro.
I'm trying to start my own thing. It's called Unassuming Nerd. I have a Facebook. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram. I'm trying to do my own thing. But obviously, we're going to try to incorporate the Guerrilla Gang stuff with our stuff together, you know, if we can. So we'll make it happen. But yeah, Unassuming Nerd. You can find me on Facebook, like and subscribe, all that good stuff.
Oh, for sure. We'll put that in the description box for him, so we'll make sure that it goes in. So speaking of Unassuming Nerd, I was thinking of this as I was cleaning the table off. What's a TV show? This is for both. What's a TV show that you guys can watch over and over and over and over and never get tired?
Okay, I know one that Mark will say.
Hold on. Before you say it, let me get the disclaimer that when I say this, you might think that Cam is the all black one and that I'm mixed. But one of my favorite shows of all time is Friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you, except here's my exception to Friends. I don't like any of the first two seasons. Like, you know,
Adam, what's going on,
they
brother?
look different, and like even the filming of it was a little bit different. Yeah, but I don't like the first two seasons, but after that,
the production got better.
Yeah, so even the content got better. I kid you not. The first night I went out with my ex-wife, the main thing I remember is we were watching Friends the first night that we spent together. And it was
Abdul, what's going on, bro?
I believe it was that Unagi episode.
Unagi. Yeah.
Unagi. He's like, Unagi. And I believe that was the episode.
Isn't that an ill?
Yeah, it's eel for
but he was trying to say it was like a karate
right. Thing. But yeah. So I'm with you with Friends. Sir Blanco, you got one other than Friends?
I got a lot of them. So I mean,
maybe like your top two, maybe.
Give me a second to think of the top two. Go ahead.
You got two?
Whew, okay. Yeah, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is, I could watch that over and over and not get tired of it.
Never watched that episode of Breaking
Bad. And here's the thing, even though I'm saying that, like, first of all, my nephew Abdul actually introduced me to Breaking Bad. And the first two seasons...
Is that the one with Bryan Cranston
yes.
to do with the glasses? Okay.
First two seasons are a little slow, but after the first two seasons, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? How is he going to get out of this? Oh, I'll give you a third too, Dexter. And I know that you share that with me, that Dexter is one of yours. But those three shows, you know, and I mean, if I want to go old school, the Cosby Show is a show I could watch over and over again.
I'm talking about the series. So I don't know about you, but when it got later and the kids started leaving and the cousin came and all that, it was unwatchable. For me, it was unwatchable. And I think that's the mark of a show coming towards end where it has to change the dynamic of the main characters.
Well, you know what kind of sucks now, though, is like it seems like there's a trend of where they try to end the shows. Now, you know what I mean? Like after 5 seasons, it's pretty much done. Nobody goes over 5 seasons anymore. Yeah. Nobody goes over. Nobody goes over 5 seasons anymore. And it's kind of heartbreaking because you get into the show, you get vested, and it's like, is 5 seasons really enough? You know what I mean? I feel like you just got the momentum going sometimes on these shows. You know.
I think it depends on the show.
Lost should have ended after the second.
I think a lot of the comedies or the romantic comedy type of shows are ending fairly quickly, but like Flash, I think Flash is going into 7. Arrow went to 8.5. Smallville went to 10.
You know what's funny about Arrow though? Like I started watching Arrow when it was already out, and I didn't know how good it was in the beginning, and I started watching it, and it got up to a certain point where I was just like, I don't know if I can watch this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it kept being the same thing over and over and over again. Although that's what it seemed like to me.
But it's always so superhero shows are unique because the arc is weird. It's the villain is hidden. Mm-hmm. Then the villain shows himself and is way more powerful than the hero.
Right.
So now the hero has to overcome that. Mm-hmm. And then there's the journey of the hero. How does he overcome it? And then ultimately at the end, he overcomes it. So
right.
Every superhero show is always the same. I remember being a kid, well, not a kid, but being like 18, 19, and wanting to write my own comics. Yeah. And in writing my own comics, you have to learn how comics are...
Like the progression of the story.
The progression of the story, and it's always like that. Like, the villain... There's exceptions. Obviously, Lex Luthor will never be stronger than Superman.
Right.
And he just won't. But he puts Superman in positions where he can't. You know, his strength and all that stuff, his powers don't even matter.
Well,
so
isn't his intelligence his main kick anyway?
It is.
Yeah.
But he also knows that Superman's ultimate, like any hero, is protection from loss of life and preventing other people from injury. So they use that.
Isn't it strange? Does anybody believe it's strange that Lex Luthor and Batman are basically the same person?
Iron Man.
Right?
Tony Stark.
Yeah, right. They're all the same person. They're just
Stark.
rich guys, pretty smart.
Put
some
Mr. Fantastic.
That's because there's only so many ideas you can run with out there in the world anyway.
But I mean, you wouldn't. If I told you, compare Lex Luthor to Batman, you'd be like, Pfft.
Except if you're an ultra nerd,
right?
you know that Lex Luthor has more money than Batman.
Wow, that's amazing.
But yeah, if you really think about it, I mean,
you know who's the richest character in comics?
The richest?
Give me a guess. Who would you all say is the richest?
Reed Richards?
No.
I would assume that it was Iron Man.
Ra's al Ghul?
No. Nope. I'll give you one and two. The number one and the number two, and it's hero villain.
So one is Lex Luthor, right? No, one of them isn't Lex Luthor?
Some nerd shit for y'all.
Yeah, right. This is that unassuming nerd talk. I'm talking
so number one is Black Panther. Because of all the vibranium that's in Wakanda.
Okay. Uh-huh. So it's not actually cash, you're talking about
Rich.
resources.
Yeah, rich. Okay. And then number two is Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Victor Von.
Owns his own country. Latvia or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's 1, 2, Black Panther, and then Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom.
Interesting.
Two richest characters.
Which is one of the Marvel Legends
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's one of the more expensive ones that I need.
So yeah, that's...
Maybe that's why it costs
some nerd knowledge. Who's the richest?
Let me ask you a question. You were talking about Lex Luthor. As far as the movies and TV shows, who would you say played the best Lex Luthor?
Michael Rosenbaum, easily.
Is that the bald-headed guy from
Smallville?
Okay.
Michael Rosenbaum, easily.
See, I would assume it was Gene Hackman. Okay.
Honestly,
I thought my
nostalgia-wise, it would be Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I honestly don't follow, the character of Lex Luthor like that to be like, oh, this person's the greatest. Yeah. Well, because Smallville, I really didn't get into Smallville too much. For real.
Oh, yeah, you're not from Delaware. I was going to say, Tom Welling is from Delaware.
Yeah, I didn't get...
I'm not a Smallville guy.
Yeah, I never got into it, so... But
I'm not a big Superman guy because I felt like Superman was overdone.
Overpowered.
No, well, not just that, just over, like, there's been so many
But understand why, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's the oldest superhero. Mm-hmm. So it's not his fault that they do that
Aaron
much.
said Gene Hackman. There you go.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not his fault. He is overpowered at sometimes. He's not my favorite character, although people assume he is. Like, I get so much Superman stuff from people. Like, oh, he went to Superman.
You know what's funny about the Superman character? I'm not saying I dislike Superman, but I do like the other forms of Superman in different comics. So like in The Boys. Have you watched The Boys?
I have not watched The Boys yet, so don't give that up.
No.
That's my next show to watch.
But there's a character. There's a character named Homelander. And Homelander is basically the Superman of that world.
And that's what every single... So that's what sucks about, like, Marvel. Yeah. Marvel has made like 4 different guys that are comparable.
Yeah, it's the Superman of that.
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, because the original Captain Marvel.
and they're stronger, and it's so like
the
come
original
on, man.
Captain Marvel was a dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And he was basically.
Well, there's a fight about Captain Marvel.
And Shazam is another.
Captain Marvel
Right, he's
is
kind of like a.
so Captain Marvel is Shazam, and I think DC lost the rights somehow to call him Captain Marvel, so now he's Shazam.
Right.
But originally, it was that when the comics came out back in the early days, and it was Fawcett Comics. That's where Shazam debuted, Captain Marvel, whatever. Captain Marvel.
A little bit of everything, Lloyd.
Well, Shazam
We're
was
just-
Captain Marvel back in the day in Fawcett Comics.
We're just on Superman for some reason right now, but it's going to be a little bit of everything.
But we'll get back on track because we kind of
we were talking about
you
the
need
TV
to give
shows.
up your
Yeah, it's
2-3 favorite shows that you can watch.
It's funny that I can
regardless.
watch anytime. That I'll just stop everything and watch them. And they'll probably be odd for some people, but Martin.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, Martin's-
I'll stop doing what I'm doing and watch Martin. It always brings me back to being a kid.
Even the later seasons.
You know what?
I felt like Martin was good throughout.
So it bothered
When
me when
his-
they separated Martin and Gene. And they
Oh,
put
yeah,
on
But
camera
that was a whole
messed
bunch of political
up. Yeah.
stuff in the show that made that way,
Yeah.
you know. But if you knew the history of it, you know that's what happened. But that and
And they did make peace, by the way, in case you
yeah, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'll stop.
That's a good one, too.
I'll stop doing what I'm doing, and it'll be like, it always brings you back to being a kid.
That's another show that I hated the later seasons when they had
When
the
they
new
took
kid.
out Aunt Viv and
Oh, and
all
they
that.
put the new Aunt Viv in. Yeah.
No, I didn't care about the new Aunt Viv.
Okay.
It was like the
Little
when
kid.
Aunt Viv had the new kid, and that added it. I was like,
Yeah. No, I mean that's when the show is basically just trying to stay above water.
right.
You know?
Let's try to reach a new audience.
Yeah. That type of stuff. But yeah, those are my two that I'll literally stop everything. Like, oh my god.
So I have 3, and this will bring out the white in me a little bit for some people. Sopranos. I can rewatch The Sopranos.
I've never watched
all
one episode.
all 6 seasons of Sopranos. I can rewatch anytime.
I've heard it's
watched
good.
one
But
episode.
I've heard it's good, but I really don't. I haven't never followed it.
Always been a mafia guy. Like I love mafia documentaries, all that stuff. So
Yeah, I do, too.
But
honestly.
in terms of that, have you ever watched Boardwalk Empire? Okay,
it's
'cause
not one of my
that's-
shows, but I can tell you right now, I've watched Boardwalk Empire at least 4 times,
Because it's very, very
The
good.
entire series.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
and it's accurate. It's pretty accurate. They got Lucky Luciano in it. It's got,
Yeah, Breaking Bad was one of my favorite shows that I mentioned. Sanford and Son is great. Law and Order.
But again,
never
Sanford
really
and Son
got
is
into
one of those shows where it gets later, it starts to fall off a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Sanford Arms and all that. But we're talking shows that you can watch every single episode,
Yeah.
the entire series. So mine would be Sopranos, The Wire.
Funny
And
enough, I've never watched The Wire.
The
either.
Wire is amazing.
I tried to start watching it.
I would
and
say The
I
Wire
didn't
is the
get into
most amazing. I would say The Wire is the best
Written.
series that I've ever watched.
I think it's one of the best written series I've ever seen, too.
it. I tried to start watching it, and then
So
However,
it
though,
might be one of those shows that you have to start because it does start out a little bit.
honorable mention The Wire.
It
Better Call
starts out a little
Saul
bit
is
weird.
pretty good, Lori. It's
But it might be one of those ones that you got to watch a couple times, and then once you get into it, you're like, "Oh my!"
Oz
shit.
was good. Oz was a very good show on HBO.
Oz is in my top 10, but it's not in the top 3.
I hear you.
That's what I was-
Yeah, but it was a good.
I
show.
can give you my top 10, and Oz is in there. Oz is definitely my top
Better
10.
Call Saul is good, but I kind of wanted Breaking Bad again, and that's why Better Call Saul is kind of like, oh, okay, The only thing about The Wire, the second season about the ports,
No, that was awesome.
I didn't enjoy it.
So
as much.
for me, I was a union president for 8 years.
right,
I was involved heavily in the union, and the second season is about unions and all that stuff, and that it was good because it was a little bit street, but then a lot like you got to learn different facets of the union, how unions work, and et cetera, and all that stuff. So I enjoyed it. Funny enough, the season I didn't like that much was the one with the kids in school.
see, I enjoyed that.
But I can tell you now, and this might be name dropping, but Julito McCullum, who played Naaman, kid with the ponytail. I talk to him all the time on this. Like, we literally have conversations all the time. And I was like, yo, they should, I'll be honest. I told him, yo, they should make a Wire in the future, and all the corner boys like Michael, Naaman, Dookie, I forget the other one. But what Baltimore is like with all of them as grown-ups. He was like, yo, send me a script. So if I ever get time, I will write like a synopsis type of a thing and send it to him and see if it works.
Right.
I don't mind doing that. I think that would be fun. I have a creative mind. Never wrote a script, but doesn't seem that hard to at least make a synopsis and go into it. We talked about Boardwalk Empire, Lori. It's really good. Steve Buscemi is great.
Yeah, he's really great.
Yeah, he's been great though. That's the thing, you know.
But do you know Steve Buscemi? His wife was the casting director for The Sopranos.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
So I've been to New York.
He said Randy was the other young
Randy,
boy.
yes. So I've been to Sopranos. I've been to New York and done the Sopranos tour, where they take you on a bus and they take you to different locations.
That's
You can't go to the Tony's house because it's in a gated community. You're not allowed in there. But they take you to Satriale's. They take you to the strip club. Obviously, you go outside. They take you to the pork store, which is where they hang out in front of. They give you actually, no. They do trivia on the bus, and I won a newspaper that they used on the...
Oh, really? Like a prop?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was dope until my wife kept it when we got divorced. But but I did win it. But yeah, it's really cool. So Sopranos, The Wire, all HBO shows.
Yeah,
And I will give you one
HBO
that's not an
as well.
HBO show because I tell you right now, I watch this every single night. This is how I fall asleep. I put The Office on.
Oh, The Office is
every
fun.
night. The
Office
Office.
is-
That's how I fall asleep.
You know, another show I really liked until towards the end, because I tried to go back and watch it. I didn't get to see the end of it as it was on TV, but I used to follow True Blood real heavily.
Oh, True Blood's really good.
Yeah, it was. It
Very
kind
good,
of
right?
got...
Nah, I mean, look, it's one of those things that you gotta kind of like watch all the way through, like every other show that's like that. I mean, you're talking Boardwalk Empire. You said The Wire's like that. Oz is like that. Dexter, Power, right? Like,
I've never watched Power.
Power's really good.
I watched Power.
But
I've
see,
never watched.
to say that this is a show, because I mean, I watch a lot of shows. Game of Thrones. I watch.
Never watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shows that are awesome, but
Game of Thrones would be my top 10, except for the last season.
But you're right. Yeah, the last season was terrible. There was parts that were awesome.
Up to episode 3.
It could've-
The first couple episodes were awesome.
I mean, think about like the battles and stuff like that. Like those were all cinematically, they were all awesome, right? But story wise, they weren't that good.
I'll disagree, and only because the
Yeah,
battle
it did, Lori.
at Winterfell, if they had, I know it took place at night, but you couldn't see it. Like a lot of the stuff that was going on, that what drove me crazy. Like, this is an awesome battle. Why can't we see it?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to see it. So I know there's a version where it's a little bit lightened and you can actually see it, and that's a little better. But that shit was awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but
I just didn't like that it was so dark.
those
That's what
shows specifically that I'm talking about, like Power, really good movie show, and Boardwalk Empire, really good. To say that I would watch them over and over again, probably not. I'd have to be like in a mood to watch it. But like Martin, if it comes on, I'm stopping. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, if it comes on, I'm stopping.
I guess this would have been a better question. Like, what TV show would you binge watch? Like, not just because it's on. Like, would you binge watch the entire series of a show?
Friends, no doubt.
Like, I guess I didn't phrase
Own
the question
everyone.
as well as I should have, but I'm talking beginning to end,
Listen.
what would you binge watch? Like right now, I'm binge watching Shameless.
Right.
Shameless is great.
Shameless,
Yeah,
too.
see, that's great too.
I
right?
own every season of Friends, and then
You
they
own it?
Own every season. Then
Do you
they-
have cassette?
The DVDs.
regular DVDs.
You don't have
not
VHS?
Blu-rays. No. So I have the
Because
DVDs.
Friends is old enough for VHS.
Yeah, I have the DVDs, but then it was on Netflix, and that was great for me because I used to just turn on Netflix. Then they got rid of it on Netflix, and I seriously almost wanted to cancel my Netflix because they got rid of it.
Yeah, they did
Now
that
it's
at the house
on
too.
HBO something or whatever.
HBO
Jose
Max.
said he had. Yeah.
The HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max now. So it's like now I want to buy Friends digitally, but I don't want to pay.
$100.
Right.
That's what it's going to cost
Per season, yeah.
But I think on Vudu, at least that's the platform I use to digitally watch things. It usually comes on sale for about $89.99.
But that's
and
not bad. If
I
you
mean,
think
that's
about
cool.
it. Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay $100 for one
Right.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
For
how
some
I
shit
feel
you
about
already
it, too.
watched.
For
Right.
something I already own.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just now I'm making the switch. See, fuck
Platform.
technology. Fuck technology. Let me tell you why. I had so many CDs, man. I had a big CD collection. Then digital started coming out, and I'm like, you know what? This is way more convenient. Don't have to carry the CDs around. Like I had suitcases of CDs. I gave it to a buddy of mine.
Not to interrupt, but didn't you have LPs?
No, I wasn't a record guy. I was never a record.
Oh, okay. I
My
thought you-
mother had a bunch of records.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
we did.
old-
talk
I
about
mean,
that.
old school records, yeah.
All right. I know we talked about LPs at one point.
Yeah, no, my mother had a ton of records that I don't know what she did with, but some of them was probably worth good money. But, you know, made the switch, and I gave CDs to a buddy of mine, Steve. And, you know, I don't know what he did with them. I don't even care. I don't want to know because
it will make you mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So then,
I know.
you know, I was a DVD guy for a while, Blu-rays. I kind of got rid of some of my Blu-rays, and then I started building a collection up again. And then I was like, you know what? It'd be a lot easier to go digital. So I'm building up my digital DVD collection, or whatever you call it, digital collection.
Digital collection.
You know, so there's a lot for me to get, and Friends is definitely probably top on my list. But like I said, I don't want to pay.
And yeah, that's how you. Yeah, because it's one of those things. Because if I just could pay, whatever, $10 a season, you know, I would do that as opposed. And you know, once in a while, I'll buy one season this week, one season next week. You know, I would do something like that as opposed to buying the whole. You know, $100, dropping $100 on all.
But you know what would be great is if somehow there was like a proof of purchase and you could pay a nominal fee to have it
There is.
transferred.
When it comes to Vudu, it's weird, and I don't know if it would work for that. But I know that they have a disc to digital system.
Yes.
Where you can scan the back of the barcode.
That's on Blu-rays though.
I don't know. I think it's on
DVD.
on
I
DVDs
don't
as
know
well.
anything.
Yeah, I
about
think
that.
you're saying it's on
It has
Vudu.
it, and all you basically do is scan the back of the barcode, and then it'll tell you, you know, if you want this digitally, you only pay whatever, $3 or $5, whatever it is.
Oh, I need to look into it.
Yeah, but your Vudu has to be connected. You literally have to do it at the address you're at. So if my Vudu account is connected to this address, then I can only be here. I can't be at your house and do it because it goes off of.
Popo.
It's basically one of those.
Come on.
1 second, folks.
Popo in the hood.
Oh yeah.
They keep going. Anyway,
One just went that way. There's one up on the other side too.
They try and catch somebody.
but basically, it won't allow me to go to your house and scan your DVDs and try to make them digital.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? It's connected to this address. If my Vudu's connected to this address, I have to do it at this address. So.
Gotcha.
Since we're talking the 80s, that was terrible. Since we're talking movies and we're talking film, Sir Blanco, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
Do you have a favorite quote unquote 80s movie? Me and Mark already did.
I have a ton, but I mean,
Give me 3.
I give you my top one. I'll give you my top 2 because these are the ones that I can remember right off the jump.
Okay.
Any of the Rockies, because I'll stop everything and watch Rocky. I remember when I was a kid in New York City.
Hey, what's
But-
going on?
When I was a kid in New York.
Only Rocky 2 Up is, or 80s movies.
Oh, really? Because the first
Rocky 3 was
78.
77.
Okay.
Yeah, 77, 78.
Okay.
It was one of the two years.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not.
See, the thing about that is that
But 3 was great though.
What?
when I was a kid,
We're good.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
We'll get into that. 'Cause that's going to be a great next question.
Yeah.
because when I was a kid,
Over the Top is a great one, man.
Awesome.
I think New Jack City was actually the 90s. Bro.
91 or 90.
Yeah. But Over the Top was amazing. One of my favorite songs. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you get back. One of my guilty pleasure favorite songs is Sammy Hagar, "Winner Takes It All" on that soundtrack.
I used to flip my hat around
Yeah.
to lift something heavy
Right.
to be like that. So
Well, do you remember the video, the Sammy Hagar video? At the end, Sammy Hagar and Stallone arm wrestle each other, and Sammy Hagar beats him.
hell yeah, Over the Top was the shit. I hated that little whiny ass kid though.
yeah,
I wanted to punch him.
Yo,
the
you
whole
should
movie.
see him now. He looks crazy.
I imagine.
Crazy. Like, I liked him for the movie because
Robert Loggia was the grandfather.
Oh yeah,
Who
that
was
is
in
his-
Scarface, which is ironic.
Frank, yeah, yeah. Tony, I did it, Tony. Can you please?
Hey! What are you doing? But anyway,
man.
segue.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
All
back to
right, when I was a kid, my movie experience was basically all at home. So, if a movie came on, usually it came on around 9 o'clock
Mhm.
or 8 o'clock, and my bedtime was 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a little kid. So if I started a movie at 8 and my bedtime was 9, I was shit out of luck. You know. so I would beg my mom, please let me stay up till 10 o'clock just so I could finish this Rocky movie, right? And so that whenever Rocky came on, any Rocky, any of them, and obviously my personal favorite of Rocky was Rocky 4.
So you're skipping ahead, man. That was the next question. What
I'm
is your
sorry.
favorite Rocky movie and why?
That was my personal favorite. But my second all time favorite 80s movie, and I don't even know if it's an 80s movie, is Christmas Story 80s movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So a Christmas
absolutely.
Christmas Story is my favorite.
Right,
Christmas
I could literally stop everything I'm doing, and when it comes on, I will watch it. You know, so those are my two favorites.
That's Christmas
Christmas Story
for
is
me, too.
not my favorite. I will say.
But also one more time,
Go ahead, yeah.
honorable mention, and I don't know if this is an 80s movie. I think it's a 90s movie. Shawshank Redemption.
No, that's
Shawshank
90s.
was
Or
90s.
that's
It
was
was
it
90s.
2000?
It was 90s.
It was 90s.
It was 90s. Okay,
It
well,
was late 90s, like
that's
99.
that's
Great
an honorable
movie.
mention.
Great
If
movie.
it comes on, I'm stopping everything and I'm watching that movie.
I will watch
great movie.
Shawshank Redemption every
Great
time.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Every time.
No,
All right.
no argument.
So, we've already. The next question would have been.
Go ahead.
What's
Say
your
it, 'cause
favorite Rocky movie?
You guys got to answer now.
Well, we already did this once. Like
okay.
he said his. I can tell you my favorite.
Rocky 3.
No, I mean my favorite 80s movie. It changes.
By far, the worst one's the fifth one.
My favorite
Tommy Gunn. That's the worst.
80s movie is one you guys probably haven't seen. Is Real Genius.
Yeah, I've seen Real Genius. We've had
Val
this
Kilmer.
conversation.
That's what I said.
okay.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I mean,
Real Genius. That's Val Kilmer. It's about a child genius.
That's the first
that
movie
goes
I
to
know
a-
Val
to
Kilmer
a-
in.
a school and they build a laser and blah 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 blah.
You know what?
And I skipped 3 grades. I graduated when I was 15, so it's like it meant something to me.
Yeah. It brings up memories, bad. You know.
So
memories.
yeah, that's
What's
Real
your-
Genius. is
What's your
my
favorite Val Kilmer movie?
Real Genius.
Okay, what's your favorite Val Kilmer movie?
None.
None.
Heat.
I do have a favorite.
Not
Val
because
Kilmer
of Val
He
Kilmer.
was good though.
Val Kilmer sucks. I'm
No,
sorry. I
no,
do
no,
not
no,
like
no,
Val Kilmer as an actor.
no.
He
I
sucks.
will not. I will
Val
not.
Kilmer
I
sucks.
will not let him disrespect
Val
Val Kilmer
Kilmer
like that.
sucks. He
Nah,
sucked
Val-
as
Val Kilmer-
Iceman in Top Gun.
Time out.
He was
Val
terrible.
Kilmer, you
Did
telling
he suck
me?
in Willow?
No, Willow was a good movie.
I said, did
All
he
right.
suck in Willow?
Can I bring up a movie that
Yo,
you guys probably ain't
Toby,
even think about?
you stupid, man. You not allowed on this show no more.
He does Dallas. It was too much pubic hair. How about that?
That's my brother, man.
I know.
And-
It was too much pubic hair.
let me tell you something about the math.
Now the new one, there's a new one. The newer one is better,
Let me tell you something about the math.
and it was a '70s movie anyway.
All the Mathis boys are crazy.
No.
Okay. From my brother, my dad had it a little bit from my brother and my brother Kenny. The Mathis boys are crazy. So if you see my brother say something in the comments, It's just.
But he said Debbie Does Dallas. I want to know if this is the updated one or the 70s one.
I don't know, man. Probably the 70s one.